Hello, it's Thursday, and in case you missed it, Mike did not do a video on Tuesday. He had a death in the family, so he had to pack and then get up to Edmonton on Wednesday, so he was unable to do a video, but I think he gets a pass for that. Now, over the long weekend, we saw Thor 2, which was such a good movie. Oh my goodness. I had such a blast with it. I liked it a lot more than the first one. Not to say that the first one was bad. I really enjoyed the first one, but I just liked the second one so much better. I liked the plot. I liked that it had Christopher Eccleston in it, who played the Ninth Doctor, and he was amazing. I also liked the dynamic between Thor and Loki in this one. It was really good, especially after the whole, trying to take over the world through New York sort of fiasco that happened in the Avengers. My only issue was too much hotness on screen. I know. Well, Mike had his eye candy too. He was saying how good Natalie Portman was looking, but I'm like, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, I really can't choose which one, because at first I'm like, oh, Loki, and then, oh, Thor. So yeah, that was a bit of an issue, but that really has nothing to do with the plot. But it was a great movie, really enjoyed it. It had a little bit of a nod to Guardians of the Galaxy at the end of it, a little bit for Thanos, Infinity Gems and Infinity Gauntlet and all that good stuff. So that's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays into Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Chris Evans had a little cameo as Captain America when Loki's, well, I won't spoil it for you, but Chris Evans has a little bit of a cameo. Yay! The funny thing is right before the movie started, there was a Captain America preview. And the way the preview started, it felt like it was part of the Thor movie. And then it was like, after a while, you're like, wait a minute, this feels like a preview. And then the voiceover happens and you're like, oh my gosh, this is totally a preview. Okay, never mind. And it was so convincing, actually, that we were talking about it after the movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, and Chris Evans had 2 cameos in it. He was in the beginning and he was in the middle. And Mike's like, no, he was just in the middle. I'm like, yeah, he was totally at the beginning, in the elevator. And Mike's like, that was the preview. And I was like, oh right, I totally forgot that. So just shows you that, the previews are really good too. Please don't talk during them. Another thing that happened this weekend is we had a couple of gaming nights with our friends. Now, I do want to talk to you a little bit about something I've already talked about, which is Mansions of Madness, if you remember one of my previous videos. But this is the first time that we've actually played it with a group of people. And the dynamic is so much different and so much better. It really shines with more people. I was so close to winning. This is the closest I have ever been to winning this game. Now, what there is an objective, and I know what the objective is, so I'm working towards it, but the players don't know the objective till almost the end, unless they have a card that says, Keeper tells you the objective. Now, the only time I've won a Mansions of Madness game is when the game ends and you flip over the card and it's like, everyone wins. Hooray! And you're like, you don't really feel like you earned it, but all I had to do was kill 2 people, and I had already killed one, and I was on my way to the second. He had 1 hit point left. 1 hit point left. I moved my monster in position, and I struck out, and he had to test his strength, and his strength was you had to roll a 1 or a 2. Now, there are six possible outcomes. 1 or 2 is a very, very low probability of getting those numbers. So I was feeling pretty confident that I was going to win this game. And lo and behold, he rolled a 2. And the next round, the game was over and everyone lost. And I was so depressed because I'm like, this was the closest I had ever come to winning. But I didn't, and I was sad. And everyone kind of felt bad for me. Anyway, that's my time for this week. Go see Thor 2. It's amazing. Play lots of board games because they're fun. And I'm probably going to start talking about Christmas soon because it is after November 11th, and that is my right to do so. Anyway, this is a logical stopping point.